When you walk away, that's when they'll feel it. That's when the silence creeps in, deafening, gnawing at them. They don't see it now, too busy taking, laughing, pretending. But trust me, they're about to learn the hard way. People only see the cracks when the whole damn wall comes crashing down. They won't remember what they took. They won't remember the words they threw like cheap punches to a defenseless kid. No. They'll remember the hole, the missing piece, that itch that never gets scratched. It'll drive them insane. That emptiness you'll leave behind. You see, that's the funny thing about folks, about this whole twisted game they play. They only start counting losses when there's no chance of filling the void. You were their strength, their little secret, even if they never admit it. But the second you're out of the picture, they'll feel it, deeper than a knife twist. They'll realize they traded something irreplaceable for what? Ego? Power? Petty lies? They threw away their foundation, all for the thrill of tearing you down. But here's the punchline, the real joke. When you're finally gone, that's when they'll sit in the dark with all their mistakes, surrounded by shadows that don't whisper, don't comfort. They'll have to look in the mirror and realize you were the only one holding them up. And that's where you win. Not by breaking, but by walking out, standing tall, and never looking back. You leave them with the void, the pain they caused themselves. That's your legacy. The scar they'll never shake. The silence they'll never fill. They thought you'd always be there, didn't they? Thought you'd play the fool, standing by, taking hit after hit, bending over backward. Every little kindness you gave, they chalked it up as weakness. Every piece of yourself you handed over, they took like they were entitled to it, as if it was just their due. But here's the truth they don't want to face. When you're finally out of the picture, it's their lives that'll come undone. See, they never realized it was you holding them together. You, with your patience, your strength, your silence. You took the weight so they wouldn't crumble under it. And they laughed about it, didn't they? Behind your back, they called you naive, soft. But they'll learn soon enough. When you leave, it'll be like the air's been sucked out of their lungs, like the ground's fallen out from under them. They'll sit there, surrounded by everything they thought mattered, and none of it will bring them comfort. None of it will fill the space you left behind. They'll replay every damn word they ever threw at you, every look they gave you when they thought you weren't worth their time.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
They'll be haunted haunted by everything they can't take back. But here's where it gets good. When they finally see that empty seat where you used to be, it'll hit them like a freight train. They'll try to replace you, you know. They'll bring in other people, try to fill that void with anyone who'll play along. But no one, and I mean no one, will be enough. They'll look at them, and it'll just remind them of what they lost, of what they threw away without a second thought. That's the punishment, my friend. The ghost of you will live in their heads rent-free, every minute, every hour. And the more they try to ignore it, the louder that silence will get. Their heads will be a prison of regrets, of everything they didn't say, of everything they took from you like it was nothing. They won't admit it out loud, of course. Oh no, their pride's too big for that. But they'll feel it deep down, that raw emptiness, and it'll tear them apart. And you'll be out there, breathing free, finally done carrying the weight of people who never appreciated you, people who only saw you as a convenience. You'll walk out of that cage, that prison they tried to build around you with their judgments, their lies. And for the first time, you'll know what it feels like to live without chains. They'll still be stuck in their little web of control, of appearances, drowning in their own games. That's the real joke, isn't it? They thought they were winning, thought they had the upper hand. But the second you turn your back, it's their world that shatters. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. People like that, they think they're untouchable. They think that no matter what, you'll keep showing up, keep sacrificing yourself to keep their world neat and tidy. But you owe them nothing. Not your loyalty, not your forgiveness, and sure as hell not your peace of mind. You walking away, that's their punishment. They'll spend the rest of their lives looking for someone to take your place, someone who can give what you gave. But they won't find it, not in 100 lifetimes. You know why? Because nobody can replicate what you brought to the table. Nobody else has your scars, your resilience, your patience. You were a one-of-a-kind masterpiece in a world that treated you like a throwaway. And that, my friend, that's their tragedy. They'll be surrounded by all the empty things they thought were so important, but without you, it'll mean nothing. Just hollow echoes in an empty room. You might think right now that letting go is the hard part, that leaving will somehow make you weak, like it's a failure. But understand this, walking away is strength, it's power. It's you choosing yourself over people who never deserved you in the first place. You're not abandoning them. They abandoned you the moment they thought they could get by without respecting what you gave. When you leave, it'll feel like freedom, a weight off your shoulders you didn't even know you were carrying. You'll feel light, clear-headed, like you've been given a second chance. And the best part? That's the beginning of their nightmare. Because from that moment on, they'll be living with the shadow of you. They'll hear your name in places they don't expect. They'll see people who remind them of you, and it'll cut them like a knife every single time. They'll be haunted by everything they took for granted. You're giving them a gift, you know, the gift of regret.